Every night, I would smear stinking mud on my girlfriend's feet, then sprinkle a pound of flour over them, and immediately pretend to be asleep. And every night, she would wake up at 2, pull out one of my hairs and sneak out, so I followed the footprints she left on the ground. But just as I was about to find out where she was going, I came across a little girl about to be hit by a truck on the roadside. At the critical moment, I rushed over to save her, but I was thrown over 10 meters away, barely alive. Just as my heart was about to stop beating, a cold mechanical voice exploded in my mind. Godly Tycoon system binding successful. Godly Tycoon funds, 10 million. Leverage point, 1 billion has been deposited under host by use name. Black card obtained, golden eye skill. Can perceive the value of all things. See through people's hearts. Obtained Kunlun Fist Grandmaster level skill. Can fight 100 opponents. I snapped my eyes open. I felt my body now filled with unprecedented strength. I could even see and hear a Maybach speeding in from 5 kilometers away. Within 2 minutes, the black Maybach arrived before my eyes. A long, straight, silk-stockinged leg stepped out. She dashed madly toward the crowd. Lulu, Lulu, where are you? The little girl I saved burst into tears. She rushed over and hugged Lulu tightly in her arms. Hee hee. After confirming that Lulu only had a scratch, she looked up at me, her eyes filled with deep gratitude. Sir, thank you for saving Lulu. I am Yi Xiu from the Yi Group. Please tell me what I can do for you. My Yi family would spare no expense, even if it means going bankrupt. Bai stared at the woman before him. Her information appeared on his retina. How could he know that fleeting life? This was supposed to be Bai's best chance to turn his life around in the city. Clinging to the Yi family for a huge reward. Even now, with his 10 billion, he still couldn't match the Yi family's wealth. But Bai just calmly looked at her and said one word, no need. Then he disappeared into the rainy night. Yi Xiu watched Bai's retreating figure. Then she said to her assistant behind her, I need all his information within 3 minutes. He is my savior. Yi Xiu will never let him just vanish like that. Meanwhile, Bai returned home. He fixed his gaze on the 2 people on the wall. Bai's golden eyes. Memory recall function activated. Soon he learned that the mastermind behind his parents' death was his stepmother Wang Tsuehua, and his girlfriend Jiang Chang sneaked out every night to meet a rich second-generation heir. Good. Then I'll start by dealing with my stepmother Wang Tsuehua. Then I'll go find Jiang Chang. I'll make sure that the rich heir she's hooked onto won't even be able to deliver takeout. They'll end up begging on the streets. Early the next morning, Bai stepped into the Bai family villa. As soon as Bai entered the villa, he heard clattering and Wang Tsuehua's hysterical screams. Don't break it. I'll handle this soon. That brat Bai owes me the inheritance transfer document. Once this villa is mine, I'll have the money to pay you back. A slap cut off her cries. Bai pushed the door open. The living room was in chaos. Wang Tsuehua, usually so arrogant, had disheveled hair, kneeling on the floor, a bright red handprint on her face. In the center of the living room sat Hu Gu, the leader of the underground loan sharks of Jiangqing, with 4 men wielding steel pipes behind him. Bai strolled in casually, walking toward the center of the living room as if nothing was wrong. Seeing Bai ignore him, Hu Gu flew into a rage. He reached out to slap Bai's face. So this is the waste of a young master. Bai suddenly turned his head to look at Hu Gu, whose information appeared in Bai's mind. If your hand touches my face, you'll never be able to pick up chopsticks again in your life. And your angina, does it strike you exactly at midnight every night? You know fortune-telling? Hu Ji's voice trembled. Bai did not respond. Walk straight to the looted antique shelf, searching for a purple sandalwood box left by his mother. Seeing that brother Hu hadn't made a move, Wang Tsuehua immediately got up and shouted at brother Hu. He's the first in line to inherit. Force him to sign the transfer papers. Then this house will be yours. Brother Hu's eyes flickered, faced with tens of millions in debt. That bit of fear meant nothing. His face darkened. Boys, hold this punk down. If he doesn't sign today, chop off one of his fingers. Right after that, for thugs swung steel pipes and charged at Bai. Bai, with his back to them, let out a sigh. Why must you force me to get rough? Before the words faded, he spun around abruptly. A simple sidekick, the thug in the lead, as if hit by a truck, flew back 5 meters, slammed hard into the wall, and passed out on the spot. The whole place fell dead silent. The remaining 3 thugs screeched to a halt, swallowed their saliva, ready to pull back their legs. Found the sandalwood box his mother had left behind next to the coffee table. He wiped off the dust, turned to look at the dumbfounded Wang Tsuehua. Wang Tsuehua, haven't you always wanted this house and the Bai family estate? Well, I'm giving it to you now. Wang Tsuehua froze. Bai looked at brother Hu, a hint of a smile curling at the corner of his mouth. Did you bring the card machine? No need for pointless talk. I didn't want to bring it, but I did. Total of 58 million. Baiyu tossed the card over. Swipe it all. Transaction successful. Baiyu, you know what's good for you. Since you've paid off my debt, we're even. Now get the hell out. This house is completely mine now. Who said I was paying off your debt? This money is the fee for me to buy this debt. From now on, you have to pay me back. Wang Zuihua's smile froze. Brother Hu instantly realized what was happening. He immediately put on a different face, glaring at Wang Zuihua with a menacing look. Boss Wang, your creditor is now young Master Bai. Who do you see before you? Young Master Bai, is there anything I can do for you? Do you need me to collect interest for you? Brother Hu decided to cling to Baiyu, this great figure. Baiyu walked to the door holding the rosewood box, stopped, and looked at Wang Zuihua. I will only give you two choices. First, move out of this villa immediately, leaving with nothing. Second, pay off the debt you owe me within 3 days. If you are 1 second late, I will call the police. I will sue you for fraud and embezzlement of public funds. Then Baiyu shifted his gaze to Brother Hu. If you fail to supervise Wang Zuihua in completing it on time, I will sue you for intentional injury, with the entrance surveillance footage as evidence. These crimes are enough to land you both in prison for life. With that, Baiyu strode out of the villa. Behind him came Wang Kuiwa's heart-wrenching wails, along with the sounds of Brother Hu's men starting to clear the place, smashing things. Hearing these sounds, Baiyu stood in the sunlight, feeling utterly refreshed. But the next second, the system issued a new mission. Baiyu looked at this punishment, and the corner of his mouth twitched. System, you're pretty ruthless. But spending money, that's probably the simplest task in the world. Baiyu hailed a taxi, and headed straight for the top luxury mall in Jiangqing. Just as Baiyu got out of the car. Isn't this Bai Yi? I heard you got kicked out of your home, and are delivering food now. How did you end up at such a high-end place? The security guards here won't let beggars in. Back when the Bai family first fell from grace, Jiang Chang immediately dumped Baiyu. She quickly switched to a rich second-generation guy. Baiyu looked at her without any anger. Instead, he smiled. Just happened to need an audience for the money-spending mission. Yeah, here to beg. Baiyu grinned, his smile bright. But today I'm not here to beg for food. I'm here for the whole mall. Just then, the car door opened. Jiang Chang stepped out, arm in arm with a man in a Versace floral shirt. Lulu, this is your ex-boyfriend who delivers food. Not bad looking for a pretty boy. Too bad he's dead broke. The air conditioning here charges by the minute. Can one delivery fee even cover 10 minutes? Baiyu, let me introduce you. This is my current husband, Zhang Jiqiang. His family is in the building materials business. Net worth several hundred million. She emphasized several hundred million deliberately. Her eyes provocatively stared at Baiyu, seeming to expect to see inferiority on his face, or anger or utter shame. But she was disappointed. Baiyu just stood there calmly. His eyes were indifferent, as if looking at empty air beside him. Move aside. Baiyu stepped forward. His tone was flat. Hey, you're asking for a slap in the face, right? A faint golden glint flickered deep in Baiyu's pupils. Zhang Jiqiang's information displayed itself. New money second generation, outwardly strong but inwardly weak. Current Versace shirt, counterfeit. Equipped with that. Richard Mille RM011 watch, high imitation. Movement is made from domestic Dandong movement. Gucci belt, genuine. Credit card maxed out, imprisoned by debt collectors. Ferrari, daily rental not yet paid. After reading, the curve of Baiyu's mouth instantly turned amused. He leaned close to Zhang Jiqiang, lowering his voice. But just loud enough for a few passing bystanders to hear. What a pity. The carbon fiber case grain on a Richard Mille is random. Yours is way too neat. Also, the genuine calendar window snaps forward instantly. It's 1:59 now. How about we wait and see when it hits 2 o'clock, whether your watch can jump or not. Zhang Jiqiang's face instantly changed. You talk nonsense. This watch of mine is genuine. You don't know shit. Lulu, ignore this mad dog. Let's go to Hermes and buy you a bag. Saying that, he pulled the bewildered Jiang Chang along and rushed into the mall, clearly trying to escape the scene. Coincidentally, I also need to go in and buy something. Come on, Baiyu. Stepping through the revolving door, they entered the air-conditioned mall lobby. The first floor of SKP gathers the world's top luxury brands. This is SKP. If you can afford a pair of socks here, I'll eat them on the spot. Remember your words. Welcome to Patek Philippe, sir, madam. Welcome. Bring out the most expensive watch in your store. I want to pick one for my girlfriend. What, a delivery guy. Also coming in to enjoy the air conditioning. Careful not to break the glass counter. Even selling you wouldn't be enough to pay for it. The sales consultants in the store were very perceptive, all crowded around Zhang Jiqiang. Meanwhile, Baiyu was left out in the cold. There was a girl who had just graduated not long ago, wearing an intern badge, hesitantly walked up to Baiyu. Hello, sir. Is there anything I can help you with? It's okay if you're just looking. The girl's eyes were clear. She didn't show any disdain because of Baiyu's clothes. Baiyu took a sip of water and said calmly, I'm not looking. Jiang Cheng immediately sneered when she heard that. Did you hear that? He's not looking. I told you he came here just to enjoy the air conditioning. Where's security? How did they let just anyone in? Sir, if you're not buying anything, please don't occupy our reception resources. There's a resting area over there. Baiyu ignored that saleswoman. Instead, he smiled slightly at the intern girl in front of him. Then he pointed at the starry sky in the center of the counter. The starry sky model 6102P, and then swept his gaze over a whole row of Nautilus watches beside it. And this row. I'll take them all. The shop fell into a deathly silence instantly. Zhang Jiqiang burst out with exaggerated laughter. Did you hear that? He says he'll take them all. These must add up to over 20 million, right? Is this guy a delivery driver? Delivered to stupidity? Sir, please don't joke around. This is Patek Philippe, not a vegetable market. If you keep talking nonsense, I'll have to call security. Sir, that Sky Moon 6102P is priced at 2.8 million and requires VIP queue and qualification review. Baiyu pulled out a black card from the pocket of his cheap jeans worth tens of yuan. Go swipe it. Password is 6/8. If it doesn't go through, I'll eat this counter. The intern girl took the card with trembling hands, looking at the store manager for help. The moment she saw that black card, that was the legendary Mrs. by Unlimited Black Gold card. No, that's not right. This material is even more premium than the Black Gold card. This is the Supreme Dragon card, only 10 exist worldwide. Quick, no, bring the POS machine over. I'll swipe it myself. Keep pretending, go on. Pulling out a barbershop membership card to fool who? Let's see you swipe something noble. Sir, the transaction of 28.5 million is complete. We'll pack these watches for you immediately. May I ask if we should deliver to your residence or how? No need, Baiyu casually put the 2.8 million Sky Moon watch on his wrist. Just bag the rest. I'll carry them, a bag is fine. Daisy. How is this possible? Didn't the Bai family go bankrupt? Wasn't he kicked out of the house? Baiyu. So you were testing me. Actually, I never forgot you. That Zhang Jiqiang just keeps pestering me. I don't love him at all. Get lost. Take your rosy clouds and goodbye. Who was it that said they'd eat their socks a moment ago? What do you want to do? My dad? I'm not interested in your dad. Baiyu turned and walked out, passing the senior saleswoman who had looked down on him. He gestured to the intern girl beside him. Sir, her. The commission for this entire order goes to her. As for you, I don't want to see you here next time. Understand? I'll fire him right now. Xiao Lu, hurry and... Thank you, sir. Your commission today is enough to buy an apartment in Jiangqing. Thank you, sir. Baiyu glanced at the system panel. Dressed in luxury. I'll take every new season item in size L on this floor. 3 of each. Use those limited edition crocodile skin boxes from Gucci next door to pack the clothes. Sir, please wait a moment. I'll arrange it immediately. Pack 100 sets of La Mer full line. Send them to the delivery station guys for wiping their hands. Over the next hour, the entire SKP mall descended into unprecedented chaos. A mysterious tycoon in a Uniqlo outfit ravaged every luxury store like a sweeping army. He never even looked at the prices. The mall's general manager, followed by 20 security guards, was personally handling the bags. Zhang Jiqiang and Jiang Chengxiang, 2 forgotten clowns, trailed behind in a daze. Where the hell did he get that money? It must be ill-gotten gains. I'm going to report him. Dear customers, today SKP will close half an hour early. A distinguished guest has reserved the rooftop garden center, with pianist Lang Lang performing live. We apologize for any inconvenience. Thank you for your understanding. Baiyu stood at the second-floor escalator entrance, a faint smile on his lips. This was also one of the consumption items arranged by the system. Mission complete. Consumption amount, 100,050,000 yuan. 1 billion cash has been deposited into the account. SKP Mall transfer contract takes effect. Charm plus 10. Physique plus 10. SKP is mine now. The mall's general manager received a phone call, his face instantly turning pale. He walked quickly to Baiyu, kneeling on one knee. I am Wang Dehai, general manager of SKP. You have acquired 51% of the group's shares. From now on, you call the shots here, acquiring 51% of SKP's shares. This mall I've been coming to since I was a kid, and now it's mine. Let's get this party started. Since I'm the boss now, I'm issuing my first order. These 2 people are ruining my shopping mood. Throw them out, and from now on, all SKP properties are banned from letting them step foot inside. Also, that fake watch on the guy's wrist. It's an eyesore. Take it off for her. Wang Dehai immediately stood up. Security, move in. 20 guards, ferocious as wolves, pounced on them. Baiyu, you can't do this to me. I'm the one you love most. Hey, let me go. My dad won't let you get away with this. Your phone is ringing. An unfamiliar number. On the other end came a cool but slightly weary female voice. Hello. Is this Mr. Baiyu? I'm Yishiu. I heard you just bought SKP. I'm at the coffee shop downstairs right now. There's something about a company collaboration. Could I ask you to meet upstairs? Baiyu raised an eyebrow. So he was here all along. Fine. I'm hungry anyway, but I don't drink coffee. I feel like having malatang. Would Ms. Yi honor me with your company? 3 seconds of silence on the other end. After a moment's thought, okay. As long as you'll see me, I'll eat anything. Baiyu hung up. A brilliant smile spread across his face. Looks like the game is about to get more interesting. The night of Jiangxing was like a stubborn stain, pierced by the chaos of Hongxing Street in the old district, leaving bizarre, dazzling holes. A Rolls-Royce Phantom with the license plate Jiang B88888, like an aristocrat who had wandered into a slum, carefully rolled over the potholed, waterlogged road, stopped in front of Fat Sister's Malatang shop. The automatic door opened. Yishiu stepped out. Baiyu, sitting on a red plastic stool by the roadside, looked up. What, President Yi, too good for this place? Have a seat. The beef balls here are the most flavorful in all Jiangxing. Mr. Bai, you really have a sense of humor. I thought a man worth tens of billions who casually buys up SKP would have higher standards for dining environments. Money is meant to make life freer, not to put shackles on yourself. I think this place is fine. Feel free to order. President Yi, you said. You're treating. Don't hold back just because it's cheap. Just a day ago, he was a delivery driver risking his life in the rain for a few bucks. Now his presence was so deep that even I couldn't see through him. Just a little bit of everything. Mr. Bai, let's talk business. About saving Lulu. And your acquisition of SKP. Talking shop over a meal is bad for the stomach. Boss lady, 2 large bowls, light spice. Extra vinegar, coming right up. Ah Shaochan. Brought your girlfriend today, huh? She's really pretty. You look thin, girl, eat up. This meal's on your sister-in-law. Yishiu's face instantly turned bright red. No, I'm not his. I'm his creditor. Shaochun, you sure know how to joke. He casually picked up the vinegar bottle. Yishiu poured a large circle of aged vinegar into the bowl. Even though the soul of this place is in that vinegar. He hesitated for a moment, still picked up a piece of baby bok choy, and put it into his mouth. Spicy, scalding, tangy, and refreshing. The intense burst of flavors made him cough lightly. Take it slow. No one's competing with you. Yishiu took the tissue. Thank you, Baiyu. Not just for saving Lulu, but also SKP has been stalling our company's ad space renewal. If you hadn't acquired SKP, the Yi Group, next month's flagship product launch might have been cancelled. Baiyu, while eating beef balls, activated his golden eyes. His gaze pierced through Yishiu's delicate face. Strings of red data frantically danced above her head. The play, the bone, the car. We are never ever. Let it do la lit. I like this. The lead actor is too pitiful. This is no female CEO. She's like a piece of Tang Monk's flesh being roasted over fire. President Yi, with all due respect, the issue you should be worried about right now isn't the venue for the launch. As far as I know, your company probably can't even afford the rent for SKP's venue. The chopsticks in Yishiu's hand suddenly trembled. A quail egg fell back into the bowl, splashing a few drops of red oil onto her fair hand. She didn't bother to wipe it off. Her pupils contracted sharply. She stared intently at Baiyu. How do you know? Are you a corporate spy? I'm your savior. Not a spy. Baiyu pulled out a tissue, naturally took her hand, wiped the oil stains off her hand. And I not only know you're broke, but I also know the reason you're in such a mess is because there's a traitor by your side. Yishiu's face turned pale. Just then, Yishiu's phone vibrated violently. Hello, Director Li? How's the preparation for tomorrow's bid? It's been hacked. All the original designs and data for the Oasis project are locked, destroyed, and the backup hard drive is broken too? What? How is that possible? Our firewall is top-notch, and the backup disk is in your safe. How could it break? I don't know. Miss Yi, the bidding meeting is at 9 tomorrow morning. It's too late to redo it now. Sheng Capital seems to have already prepared their proposal. We're screwed. The phone slipped from Yishiu's hand. It hit the ground. Miss Yi, are you still there? He looked like his soul had been drained. His whole body went limp as he tried to sit down. Baiyu supported him with one hand. With the other hand, he calmly picked up the phone from the floor. Nice acting. The Oscars owe you a little gold man. Who is it? Miss Yi? Who am I? Not important. What's important is Li Kong. You'd better pray that 2 million relocation fee Tianxin Capital gave you is enough to buy yourself a decent wheelchair. It's all over, all over. That was our last chance to turn things around. Without the design draft, tomorrow means breach of contract. I'll have to pay 300 million in damages. The Yi family will eat me alive. Ha, panicking? What a lousy designer. If the design draft is lost, you can just draw another one. If the money is gone, you can earn it back. As long as you're not dead yet. The game isn't over. Drawing another one is too late. There are less than 10 hours left. That was the hard work of dozens of designers over 3 months. Who says it's too late? Bai let go of his hand, turned around and picked up the pile of branded bags on the floor. Let's go. Where? Your company. Since that Li Hao said the data is destroyed, I'll show him what a miracle looks like. And tonight, let's play a game of catching ghosts. At Jiangcheng CBD, the design department of Yanshi Group building was in chaos. Dozens of designers were scratching their heads at black screens. Director Li Hao stood in the middle, pretending to coordinate with the technicians for emergency repairs. But out of the corner of his eye, he kept glancing at his watch. As long as he stalls through tonight, once Yi Xiu falls tomorrow, he could take the money and become the vice president of Tianxin Capital. Here comes President Yi. President Yi, you're finally here. I have failed you. I saw Yi Xiu stride in with big steps. Although the corners of her eyes were still a little red, her aura was even sharper than usual. And beside her was a young man wearing Armani, but holding a bag of takeout boxes of spicy hot pot. President Yi. Who is this? They can handle it. I'm here to deliver food. Bai casually placed that bag of spicy hot pot on the conference table. Then he walked straight toward Li Hao. Li Hao felt a chill down his spine from Bai's stare. President Yi, at a time like this, you bring an outsider to cause trouble? Humph, Director Li, your acting is a bit overdone. You said the server was hacked, and all the data was destroyed. Of course, the tech department is doing emergency repairs, right? Bai turned and walked to a main control computer. His fingers flew across the keyboard a few times. The host is using divine-level hacking skills, tracking the data flow, restoring the underlying code. What kind of hand speed is that? He's writing a reverse tracking program. In less than a minute, Bai slammed the enter key. The previously black large screen lit up instantly. But what it displayed wasn't the design drawings. Look, it's done. The data has been deleted. That stupid woman Yi Xiu is finished. Li Hao's face instantly turned the color of pig liver. This is fabricated. This is slander, President Yi. You don't believe me, but you believe a delivery guy? Yi Xiu looked at the big screen, her heart aching. But she was also furious to the extreme. She took a deep breath, pointed at the security guards at the door and said, "Detain this disloyal scumbag. Call the police immediately." Yi Xiu, dare you arrest me? I'm done for. My design team. Tomorrow you'll still be a dead man. Let's see how you turn things around. As Li Hao was being dragged away, he was still laughing hysterically. Sure, catching the mole felt satisfying, but the design plans were truly gone. The office once again fell into a hopeless silence. Oh, great one. Since you can recover the surveillance footage, can the design plans be restored too? They were physically shredded. Can't be recovered. But Bai changed the subject, walked over to the head of the conference table and sat down, opened a box of malatang, and said casually, "Those junk design plans are gone, so be it. Using that kind of crap to bid is nothing but an embarrassment." What did you say? That was 3 months of our hard work. Got any paintbrushes? And paper? A field of mulberry and hemp. A monk's kasaya. Dreaming of longing kin. What are you planning to do? Rain need not cling to sentimental words. At that moment, in his mind, the system shop opened once again. Bai's eyes were instantly flooded with countless colors beyond this era. Since you think that was your life's blood, then tonight I'll teach you what true art really is. In the following hour, everyone in the design department of Yes Group experienced a collapse and reconstruction of their worldview. That man they had written off as a delivery driver was like a human printer. His hand speed left after images, one after another, exquisitely stunning, and explosively creative concept images were born on the screen. This is a perfect fusion of cyberpunk and Chinese trend. The lighting treatment is breathtaking. Texture and creativity are cranked to the max. When the final key visual was completed, Bai tossed down the pen and rubbed his wrist. On the screen was a piece titled Rebirth of the Sea. In the image, atop ruins, a mechanical rose bloomed in a torrential rain. That mood was exactly like Bai himself. It also resembles Yi Shi in desperate circumstances. Yu Xiu gazed at that painting. Tears silently fell. In the early morning, she turned her head to look at the man lowering his head, eating cold spicy hot pot. At this moment, his psychological defenses completely collapsed. Don't be moved too soon. Bai swallowed a meatball, looked up, a fierce determination in his eyes. The painting is finished. Now it's time to close the net. Tomorrow morning's bidding meeting. I'm gonna make Tianxing Capital spit out everything they swallowed with interest. He stood up and walked to the floor-to-ceiling window, overlooking the night view of Jiangqing. President Yi, dare to play a big game with me? Yi Xiu walked over to him, standing shoulder to shoulder. No more confusion in his eyes. Only a firm light. Why not? Even if we lose. At worst, I'll go deliver takeout with you. Bai smiled. Delivering takeout. That probably won't work. He leaned over to Yi Xiu's ear. Whispered. After all, my passenger seat is only for the boss lady. Jiangcheng International Convention Center. The morning sun spilled onto the huge glass dome, reflecting a cold and rational light. Today was the final bidding day for the Future City Commercial Complex, a landmark project in the new Jiangqing district. This was a fat piece of meat worth tens of billions. It determined who would become the commercial overlord of Jiangqing for the next 10 years. Luxury cars gathered in the parking lot. An obnoxiously flashy neon green Lamborghini roared in with explosive engine noise, arrogantly parked in a VIP reserved spot, even crossing the line. The scissor door lifted and a young man stepped out, wearing a white suit, hair slicked back and gleaming. Zhao Yushan, the crown prince of Tianxing Capital, the mastermind behind forcing Yi Group into a corner this time. Following him was a fawning Li Hao, the former design director of Yi Group, just released on bail last night. Don't worry, young Master Zhao. Su Wonking is completely finished now. Li Hao, with 2 dark circles under his eyes. The swelling on his face hasn't subsided yet, but his eyes were unusually excited. I deleted the data myself. Even the hard drive was degaussed with a strong magnet. Unless a celestial immortal descends from heaven. Otherwise, today he can only come with a blank sheet to make a fool of himself. Zhao Yutian adjusted his tie. A lecherous smile curled at the corner of his mouth. Well done. Once the Yi family goes bankrupt, that proud woman Yi Xiu will be at my mercy. As you were speaking, a black Audi A6 slowly pulled up. That was Yi Xiu's car. Compared to the surrounding supercars, this car seemed far too understated, even a bit shabby. Zhao Yutian whistled. He swaggered up with Li Hao and blocked the car door. Yo, if it isn't our beautiful Yi. The car door opened. Yi Xiu stepped out. After a night of torment and reinvention, she was in surprisingly good shape today, dressed in a sharply tailored professional suit. It accentuated her already slender figure, making her stand even taller. Those almond-shaped eyes no longer held yesterday's anxiety. In its place was a bottomless calm. And from the driver's seat behind her, a person stepped out. A young man. It was Bai Yu. She today, to match Yi Xiu, had deliberately changed into a dark gray business casual outfit, without a tie, yet it exuded a casual and lazy aristocratic aura. He carried a silver metal briefcase in his hand. Inside was that shocking masterpiece. Hello, young Master Zhao. A dog doesn't block the road, Yi Xiu said coldly, without even giving Zhao Yutian a glance. Zhao Yutian was choked for a moment. His face instantly darkened. Yi Xiu, you're still stubborn even at death's door. I heard your design department was crying and screaming last night. Even the server got burned. Did you come today to directly announce your withdrawal? And then beg me to acquire your company? He greedily scanned Yi Xiu's figure, lowered his voice. Actually, if you come to my room tonight, the purchase price, I can raise it a bit for you. Yi Xiu's gaze instantly turned cold as ice. Before he could speak, a hand suddenly reached out, like shooing away a fly, waved in front of Zhao Yutian's face. Hey, you over there, keep your bad breath in check. You're stinking up my boss, Bai Yu. Standing in front of Yi Xiu, one hand in his pocket, his eyes mocking. Who the hell are you? Zhao Yutian roared in anger, pointing at Bai Yu's nose. Is this a place for you to talk? A driver, Li Hao, quickly chimed in from the side. Young Master Zhao, this is the delivery guy from last night. He's the one whose crow mouth ruined our plan. A delivery guy? Zhao Yushan laughed so hard he bent over. Are you crazy? Bringing a delivery guy to a bid for a billion-dollar project? What, are you planning to bribe the judges with spicy hot pot? A few representatives from other companies passing by couldn't help but snicker. Bai Yu wasn't angry. He activated his golden eye targeting. Zhao Yutian, status extremely confident. Kidney deficiency level 2. Personal items. Bid base price document hidden in inner pocket. A bottle of little blue pills. Key info, has already bribed. The jury's chief reviewer, Professor Zhang. Code signal touching the nose. Transfer records exist in his encrypted phone. A slight smile curled at Bai Yu's lips. Bribed the judges. Haha, interesting. Young Master Zhao, right? Bai Yu stepped forward, leaned close to Zhao Yutian's ear, said in a voice only the two of them could hear. The sea dog pills you took last night, were they expired? I see darkness between your brows. Looks like you're in for a bloody disaster today. And Professor Zhang, that old scholar, has a big appetite. That little tea money of yours. Better hope it's enough to feed the wolf. Zhao Yushin's smile instantly froze on his face. His pupils contracted sharply. How does this kid know about the sea dog pills? More importantly, how did he know Professor Zhang? Before he could react, Bai Yu had already taken Yi Shiyu by the arm, and, as if dodging a pile of trash, walked straight toward the elevator. Bai Yu, what did you just say to him? Why does he look so terrible? In the elevator, Yi Shiyu asked curiously. Nothing. Just read his fortune. President Yi, just focus on delivering your PPT later. Leave the rest of the bidding to me. The atmosphere in the hall was tense. The bald old man in the center was none other than the industry authority, Professor Zhang. The seats below were filled with the most prominent figures in Jiangxing's business world. Journalists with cameras and microphones crowded the back rows. Next, we invite Tianxing Capital to present their proposal. As the host finished speaking, Zhao Yutian walked onto the stage with Li Hao. Although he was startled by Bai Yu earlier, back on his home turf, Zhao Yutian regained his arrogant demeanor. Dear judges, dear guests, Zhao Yutian said confidently, pointing at the big screen. The plan we at Tianxing Capital bring today is City Oasis. We will create a sky garden that integrates ecological, environmental, and technological elements. As the PPT flipped to the next page, the audience erupted in murmurs. Yi Shiyu's expression changed. That's our original plan. She gripped the hem of her clothes tightly, her knuckles turning white. That's right, Li Hao had deleted Yi Corporation's original files, but he brought a copy to Zhao Yutian. Now, aside from the name change, City Oasis was practically a pixel-for-pixel copy of Yi Group's earlier design draft. Shameless, Yi Shiyu gritted her teeth. On stage, Li Hao, as the lead presenter, was speaking with great enthusiasm. This double-helix sky corridor is our original patented design. This glass curtain wall with photosynthetic musical capabilities is our exclusive, original creation. In the audience, Bai Yu sneered. He pulled out his phone and tapped the screen rapidly. System command, hack the venue. Projection system connected successfully. Since you want to play at plagiarism, I'll make sure you copy it all the way. On stage, Li Hao was reaching the climax of his speech. This is the culmination of our team's 6 months of hard work. Absolutely one of a kind. Just then, the big screen suddenly flickered and turned into a huge split screen, a comparison interface. On the left was the City Oasis being demonstrated. On the right was actually a video of the Su Group's internal meeting from 3 months ago. The video had a clear timestamp. In the footage, the Su Group's design team was discussing the exact same blueprint. The entire venue fell into dead silence. Then a wave of uproar. Holy shit, isn't this the Su Group's old plan? Even the color scheme is the same. They straight up stole this, right? A big company like Tianxing Capital pulling this kind of stunt. On stage, Li Hao looked like a duck with its neck grabbed. His voice cut off abruptly. He stared at the big screen in terror. Cold sweat instantly soaked his back. What's going on? Who switched the screen? Turn it off. Turn it off now, turn it off. Zhao Yutian frantically rushed toward the control console technician. What are they doing? Believe it or not, I'll fucking kill you. The technician at the console looked clueless. I didn't do anything. The computer's out of control. Looks like it's been hacked. Before they could frantically unplug the power, a line of blood-red text suddenly popped up on the big screen. Epitaph of the thief. Originality is dead. Not because all you can do is pick up scraps. Then the screen went black. Everything returned to normal. Bai Yu sat in the audience, hiding his credit and putting away his phone. He also popped a mint candy that Yi Shiyu had given him. Is this considered a broadcast accident? Yi Shiyu stared at the scene, dumbfounded. The gloom in her heart vanished instantly. No, this is called warming up the crowd. Bai Yu crunched the candy. Look, that Professor Zhang's face is green. Sure enough, Professor Zhang on the judging panel was sitting on pins and needles. He had been paid to give Tianxing a high score. Now solid evidence of plagiarism was right in front of hundreds of people. If he dares to protect her, his reputation will be ruined by tomorrow. Professor Zhang braced himself and picked up the microphone. Tianxing Capital's proposal faces serious controversy. Temporarily pending. Next, Zhao Yutian from Yi Group slunk off the stage in disgrace. As he passed by Bai Yu, his eyes were as venomous as a snake. Kid, you're the one behind this, aren't you? Just you wait, once we're out that door. I'll have you dead in the streets. Bai Yu didn't even lift his head. Is this how you ask for help? Make sure to bring extra tissues later. Afraid you'll cry too hard. Yi Shiyu took a deep breath and stood up. At that moment, everyone's eyes were on her. Some with sympathy, some eager for a show, and some with doubt. After all, that car crash drama earlier had left everyone curious about Yi Group's new proposal. Yi Shiyu walked onto the stage. Without a USB drive or any paper documents, she simply stood still at the center of the stage, the spotlight falling on her, as if she were a queen about to be crowned. Ladies and gentlemen, Yi Shiyu's voice was clear and firm. Just now, you saw the so-called urban oasis. That's right, that was a discarded draft from our Yi group. Why was it discarded? Because it's too outdated. The entire venue erupted in murmurs. Too outdated? That proposal, though suspected of plagiarism, was still considered top tier in the industry. To avoid wasting everyone's time, Ishiyu glanced at Baiyu by the side of the stage. Assistant Bai. Let's begin. Baiyu nodded and opened that silver metal case. But instead of taking out documents, he pulled out a black crystal the size of a fist. This was a portable holographic projector exchanged from the system store. 2035 edition, priced at 5 million. Baiyu placed the crystal at the center of the stage. What is that thing? The next second, a buzzing azure beam of light shot into the sky. Instantly expanding, it enveloped the entire hall of the convention center. The once bright venue immediately dimmed. In its place, a massive, lifelike virtual city floated in midair. No longer a rigid PPT, nor a flat rendering. Everyone felt as if they had instantly traveled through time and space, standing inside a futuristic cyberpunk metropolis. Giant neon signs flickered overhead. So-called anti-gravity sky rails wove between skyscrapers. Every brick, every tile was crystal clear. You could even see the expressions on the faces of virtual pedestrians walking down the streets. And at the very center of it all, a structure like a blooming mechanical lotus slowly rotated. That was the new plan for the night market. Rebirth Lotus. Oh my god! What kind of technology is this? Naked Eye 3D? This is a holographic projection. What am I seeing? Is this a Hollywood blockbuster set? This design is absolutely mind-blowing. Compared to this, the city oasis from earlier is basically a rural outhouse. The entire crowd erupted. The reporters went berserk, frantically pressing their shutters. The flashes turned the scene as bright as day. Ishiyu stood inside that colossal virtual lotus, like a fairy amidst the flowers. She reached out and gently swiped the virtual interface. The entire building instantly disassembled and reassembled, revealing its breathtaking internal commercial ecosystem layout. We don't define the future. Ishiyu's voice echoed through the surround sound. We create the future. There was no suspense. This was a massacre, a dimensional reduction strike from a higher plane. Professor Zhang, who had just been looking for trouble, stood with his mouth wide open, his dentures nearly falling out, faced with such a divine marvel. If he dared to utter a single word of dissent, he would probably be torn apart by the frenzied crowd. I give full marks. This is a work of art. This is a groundbreaking masterpiece. Another judge stood up excitedly, applauding. Applause thundered. Unending. Zhao Yutian's face turned ashen below the stage. He slumped limp in his chair. He knew it was over. No matter how much money he had, or how powerful his connections. Before this absolute crushing power, it all became a joke. Ishiyu looked at the frenzied crowd below. Her eyes slightly red. She looked at Baiyu. That man was leaning in the shadows at the edge of the stage. In his hand, he played with that crystal worth 5 million. He winked at her, and mouthed, Boss Lady Rock's bidding over. Yi Group won the Future City project with an absolute advantage. As soon as the news came out, the night market stock, which had been limit down, instantly formed a straight limit up board. Locked at the daily limit, at the entrance of the convention center, Ishiyu was surrounded by countless journalists. President Yi, may I ask if that holographic technology was independently developed by your company? Could you arrange an introduction? Ishiyu struggled to squeeze out of the crowd. Looking around, she was looking for Baiyu. Yet the biggest contributor was nowhere to be found. In the back alley of the convention center, Baiyu was leaning against the wall, smoking. Kneeling before him were two people. One was Li Hao, his face bruised and swollen. The other was Zhao Yutian, trembling violently. And around them stood over a dozen men in black suits, wearing sunglasses, burly men. The leader was the lone shark who had just pledged allegiance last night, Brother Hu. Now the captain of Baiyu's security team, young Master Bai, Grandfather Bai. I was wrong. I failed to recognize your greatness. Zhao Yutian now had not a trace of his arrogance. He looked at the steel pipe as thick as a wrist in Brother Hu's hand, and wet his pants in terror. Please spare me. I'm the only son of the Zhao family. Whatever money you want, I'll give it all to you. I'll give it all to you. Baiyu blew out a smoke ring, crouched down, and used those multi-million-dollar leather shoes to tap Zhao Yutian's face. Money? Do you think I'm short on cash? Baiyu smiled, took out a check, filled in a string of numbers, and flung it onto Zhao Yutian's face. Here's 10 million. Consider that compensation for your earlier delivery boy remark. Of course, you're paying me, not me paying you. Me pay? Yes, no. I don't need money, but I hate it when people owe me money. Brother Hu, teach young Master Zhao how to write an IOU with interest. Just use the rate he lost money at in Macau, that'll do. Rest assured, young Master Bai. I'm well versed in this business. Baiyu stood up, and ignored the screams behind him. Just as he left the alley, his phone rang. Yishiyu? Where are you? The celebration banquet is about to start. You're the main character. If you don't come, I won't begin the feast. Forget the celebration banquet. I don't like that kind of occasion. President Yi, don't forget our agreement. Keep the passenger seat for me. Yishiyu on the other end of the phone was silent for 2 seconds, then suddenly spoke. By you, I don't want any passenger seat. I want you to be the driver. Drive for a lifetime. Are you willing? This was almost a confession. Bayu was stunned for a moment, then broke into a smile. This Ice Queen CEO is thawing out a bit fast. Just as he was about to tease her a little. Alert warning detected host overusing future technology. Attracting the attention of the Dark World Organization. SG crisis incoming. The world's top assassin organization Black Mamba has accepted the contract target. Bayu's bounty $100 million. Employer Zhao Yutian's father countdown 30 minutes left. First wave of enemies will reach the battlefield. Bayu's smile froze instantly. The warmth in his eyes faded, replaced by overwhelming murderous intent. The Zhao family hit the junior, now the senior comes. The elder, Shiyu. Celebration banquet cancelled. Go home immediately. Lock the doors and windows. Transfer all of Brother Who's men to the perimeter of your villa. No matter what sounds you hear, don't come out. What's wrong? Bayu, don't scare me. It's nothing. Just some filthy things need to be cleaned up. This time, I'll make the entire underground world of Jiangxing know who the real king is. Jiangxing's CBD remained bustling and noisy. Neon lights dyed the night sky an ambiguous purple-red. However, in the old industrial area behind the convention center, slated for demolition, the air seemed to have solidified into lead blocks. That black helicopter did not open fire directly, but instead circled like a vulture. Come out. As a top-tier international shadow organization, yet still hiding in the gutter like rats. The surroundings were deathly silent. Suddenly, a very faint sound of air being split, whoosh, like a sigh from the Grim Reaper, in the vision of his golden eyes. That bullet, approaching at 3 times the speed of sound, was now trailing a long thermal image. Slow as a snail, Bayu didn't even move his feet. He merely tilted his head slightly. The amplitude so small it was almost negligible. Is this all you've got? Bayu raised his head. His gaze pierced through a distance of 500 meters. Precisely locked onto the sniper hiding behind the billboard. Compared to the rumored top-tier expert, seems rather ordinary. Top floor of an abandoned building 500 meters away. The sniper codenamed Venom Fong instantly soaked his combat suit with cold sweat. Report to Captain, Target 1 dodged. Over. He dodged? Came the cold, incredulous voice of Captain Viper through the earpiece. That was an M200, distance 500 meters. How is that possible? Team B, Team C move in. Close quarters kill. Don't give him a chance to breathe. Roger. As the order was given, in the darkness around the old industrial area, 12 black ghost-like figures instantly burst forth. Bayu stood at the center of the encirclement. There was not a trace of fear on his face. System. I want to buy something. Ding. Detected that the host is in an S-class combat environment. Shop smart recommendation enabled. Absolute defense shield. Price, 50 million. Can block all attacks except for nuclear bombs. Price, 100 million. 8 extremities fist, permanent price, 1.2 billion. Telekinesis. Basic version price, 500 million. Bayu stared at those prices. A cruel curve tugged at the corner of his mouth. I choose 8 extremities fist. 1.2 billion funds have been deducted. Initiating infusion of 8 extremities fist master-level techniques. Infusion complete. A terrifying surge of heat instantly swept through Bayu's entire body. His bones cracked like popping beans. His originally lean muscles instantly tensed. Every fiber of his muscles seemed to compress enough power to shatter mountains. At that moment, the 2 assassins in the lead had already arrived. 2 high-frequency vibrating daggers gleaming with cold light, thrust straight from left and right toward Bayu's throat and heart. Too slow. A cold voice sounded in their ears. Bayu had somehow already slipped inside their circle. 8 extremities Iron Mountain lean. Bayu didn't even throw a punch. He simply lowered his shoulder slightly, then suddenly rammed into the assassin on the left. Bang! With a sickening, teeth-grinding crunch. That assassin, wearing Kevlar body armor, and even augmented with exoskeleton armor, was like being hit head-on by a high-speed bullet train. The whole man flew out like a cannonball, crashing heavily through a red brick wall by the roadside. The remaining 10 assassins abruptly skidded to a halt, their eyes filled with shock and terror. Open fire! Open fire! Don't let him get close! Team leader Cobra roared madly into the earpiece. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Countless tongues of fire spewed out dense bullets, pouring down on Bayu like a torrential rainstorm. But Bayu's body, enhanced by 8 extremities fist, made him move like a ghostly apparition, weaving through the hail of bullets, his golden eyes activated to their maximum. Every bullet's trajectory was a clearly visible line in his eyes. For those he couldn't dodge, he simply reached out. When Bayu's fingers moved like lightning, he actually caught a bullet midair between two fingers. Monster! He's a monster! The assassin said in terror. Bayu dropped the bullet. He sprang into action. Now it's your turn. The next 3 minutes were a one-sided slaughter. Bayu's figure moved like the scythe of death. Wherever he passed, someone fell. He unleashed the full ferocity of Bajiquin. Top star, Yama's three-hand strike, standing heaven-shaking cannon. Every move was simple yet carried devastating power. The exoskeleton armor was as fragile as paper before him. One assassin tried to use a rocket launcher, but before he could pull the trigger, Bayu kicked it clean off. Clang. The rocket launcher hit the ground. With a bang, it blew the assassin himself into the sky. After Bayu kicked the last assassin away, the entire block fell back into dead silence. Bayu stood in the center of the carnage. His Armani suit not even stained with a single drop of blood. Only a golden flame, yet to fade, burned in his deep eyes. He looked up at the top of the abandoned building. There was still one last big fish. Top floor of the building. Viper's hands were trembling. He had been a mercenary for 20 years. Killed warlords in Feidao. Bombed oil fields in the Middle East. What ruthless characters. Hadn't he seen? But never someone like Bayu, who single-handedly wiped out a fully armed elite squad in 3 minutes. He had never even heard of such a thing. Retreat. Retreat immediately. The intel was wrong. This wasn't an S-class mission. This was an SSSSS-class suicide mission. Viper roared into his earpiece, while quickly disassembling his sniper rifle, preparing to escape via a zip line. Just as he turned, an icy voice sounded behind him. Since you're all here, why not stay for some tea? Every hair on Viper's body stood on end. He yanked the Desert Eagle from his thigh holster, spun around and fired a shot. Bang! The gunshot rang out, but Bayu had vanished. The next second, Viper felt a chill on his wrist. A sharp pain shot through him. His right hand, along with the Desert Eagle, fell cleanly to the ground. The cut was as smooth as a mirror, and in front of him, Bayu was toying with a thin, blood-stained piece of rusty metal. It was a soda can fragment he had picked up off the ground. Plucking leaves and tossing flowers, everything can be a deadly weapon. Viper, clutching his severed hand, screamed and collapsed to his knees. His eyes were filled with despair and terror. Don't kill me. I'm the head of Black Mamba's Asian division. If you kill me, Black Mamba will hunt you to the ends of the earth. Bayu looked down at him. Threatening me like I'm an ant? Bayu crouched down. He tapped Viper's sweat-drenched face with the metal shard. Do you know what I hate most? It's when people threaten me with things I have in endless supply. Like money, Black Mamba, assassins. The organization's headquarters is on a small island in international waters in the Pacific. Your true identity is the illegitimate son of a declining European noble. That was the dark web clairvoyance permission just unlocked by the system. Bayu read aloud from the information on his phone. With every sentence he read, Viper's face turned a shade paler. How do you know all this? This is top secret. Bayu ignored him. His fingers flew across the screen as the system exchanged for the world's top hacker, God's Hand. Upgraded version. Infiltrate Black Mamba headquarters accounts. Freeze all funds. Also issue a new bounty order to all assassins. 3 seconds later, Viper's custom communicator suddenly vibrated violently. Not just him. At that very moment, over 3,000 Black Mamba assassins scattered across the globe simultaneously received a highest-level red directive. Highest bounty order. Target. The entire Zhao clan. Key targets. Zhao Yushin and his father Zhao Gang. Employer codename, God. Bounty, $1 billion. Additional clause. Whoever claims Zhao Gang's head will be the next leader of Black Mamba. The current leader, Poison King, has been acquired by the Tycoon God for $50 billion. The organization has been renamed Tycoon Security. Acquired. Why wouldn't you believe me? Bayu stood up and clapped his hands. If you don't believe me, you can check your bank account as a token of goodwill. Viper's phone rang. I just sent $1 million to each living assassin as an adjustment fee. At that moment, Viper's gaze toward Bayu changed. No longer fear, but fanatical worship. Ignoring the excruciating pain of his severed hand, Viper kowtowed violently, banging his head loudly against the floor. Boss, your subordinate was blind. That old bastard Zhao Gang. I'll go kill him right now. Your hand is broken. You're a cripple. Bayu looked at him coldly. I don't keep cripples. But I have a pill here. Eat it. Your hand will grow back. And your strength will triple. A black pill appeared in Bayu's hand. Basic regeneration pill, priced at $50 million in the system shop. But this pill is poisonous. You need to take an antidote every 3 months. If you betray me, I'll take it, I'll take it. Viper grabbed the pill without hesitation and swallowed it. A miraculous scene occurred. At Viper's severed wrist, flesh buds squirmed, and blood visibly stopped flowing. Scabs formed. Regeneration. A divine skill. This is a miracle. Clean up the bodies here. I don't want any reports of a shootout in tomorrow's news. And notify everyone. The Zhao family. I want to play with them slowly. Don't kill them all at once. First, cut off their capital chain. Then sever their connections. Finally, I'll make them kneel at the Yi group's entrance, begging for death. With that, Baiyu turned and walked to the edge of the building. He leaped, jumping straight down from the 30th floor. In midair, he activated the anti-gravity glider he had just redeemed. Like a giant black bat, he glided away and vanished into the night. Half an hour later, Yishiu's private villa was brightly lit. In the living room, Yishiu curled up on the sofa, hugging a cushion. The TV was on, but she didn't even notice that Lulu beside her had already fallen asleep. Tear stains still clung to the corners of her eyes. Yishiu pressed her palms together, silently praying for Baiyu. Please don't let anything happen to you. Just then, the sound of the fingerprint lock unlocking came from the front door. Welcome home. Yishiu sprang up, not even taking the time to put on shoes. She rushed barefoot to the door. The door opened. Baiyu stood at the entrance. In his hand, he carried a box of still steaming crawfish. Sorry I'm late. I passed by the night market. Saw this crawfish place looked good. So I grabbed some on a whim. 13 spice flavor, just the way you like it, Auntie. Where did you go? Do you have any idea how worried I was? I heard the helicopter. I thought Baiyu paused for a moment, then gently stroked her long hair. Silly, didn't I tell you? There were some dirty things that needed cleaning. He looked up at the night sky outside the window. The dark clouds there had already scattered, revealing a bright, clear moon. From now on, I call the shots over the nights in this river city. No one will ever be able to hurt you all again. Yishiu looked up. Baiyu, who exactly are you? I am your super rich, and also your knight. At the same time, at the Zhao family mansion on the other end of River City, Zhao Yutian's father, Zhao Gang, chairman of the Zhao group, sat in his study, anxiously waiting for good news. Zhao Gang viciously stubbed out his cigar in the ashtray. Why hasn't there been a reply yet? What the hell is that Viper bastard up to? Suddenly, the study door burst open. The butler stumbled in, rushing. His face was full of panic. What? Has the sky fallen? Zhao Gang roared angrily. The sky really has fallen. Look, the whole internet is covered with bounties on our family. Our stock just plunged 90% in pre-market trading. And the company's dozens of major shareholders. My colleagues just called to say they want to withdraw their shares. The butler trembled as he handed over a tablet. Zhao Gang snatched the tablet. He took only one look. Suddenly, his world spun. He spat out a mouthful of old blood. There on the dark web's homepage was his face, a blown-up portrait. Below it, a bloody line of text. Zhao Gang roared, like a dying beast. Who did this? Just then, the study phone rang. It was an unfamiliar number. Zhao Gang answered, trembling. On the other end came a voice processed through a voice changer, yet still filled with endless chill. Good evening, Chairman Zhao. I hear you've been looking for Black Dream, killing Wu Kexing. Black Dream is awake now. Enjoy this final night. Tomorrow when the sun rises. That will be the end of the Zhao family. Click. The call ended. The receiver slipped from Zhao Gang's hand. He collapsed into the chair, limp, his eyes vacant. Outside the window, the once glorious lights of the Zhao family. At that moment, they seemed to become guiding lamps to hell. Jiangxing's mornings were usually busy and orderly. But today, an suffocating madness filled the air of the entire city. It all stemmed from that mysterious organization called Divine Punishment. The bounty they posted on the dark web last night. $1 billion. A fortune enough to buy half a small African nation. It ignited the entire global underworld. The headquarters of the Zhao Group, that glass skyscraper, once a symbol of Jiangxing's top elite, was now completely surrounded. But the crowd at the main gate wasn't reporters, but groups of people with fierce eyes. The tool man with a bulging waist. In the top-floor chairman's office, Zhao Gang seemed to have aged 10 years overnight. He slumped in that million-yuan rosewood chair. His hair was disheveled. His eyes were bloodshot. He clutched a satellite phone tightly in his hand. Director, it's me, old Zhao. I ask for nothing else. Please send someone to protect me. What? Bad signal? Hello? Hello? Zhao Gang angrily threw the satellite phone at the floor-to-ceiling window. With a bang, the bulletproof glass was left with a white mark, reflecting the dense crowd downstairs. Like ants. At that moment, the heavy mahogany door of the office was kicked open from outside. The one who entered was not an assassin, but his secretary. But at this moment, this female secretary, who usually obeyed him in everything, was holding a cardboard box with a cold expression. Chairman Zhao. This is your resignation letter. I have already printed it for you. Please sign it. The secretary threw a piece of paper onto Zhao Gang's face. Also, everyone in the company's finance department has resigned. Before leaving, they divided the remaining 3 million cash in the company account as severance pay. Zhao Gang trembled with rage. I am the chairman. I'm not dead yet, the secretary sneered, pushing up her glasses. Chairman Zhao, don't be naive. Now the stock of Zhao Group has become worthless paper. The bank has frozen all assets. Even the utility bills for this building are 3 months overdue. You are now a negative asset. Who still recognizes you as chairman? With that, the secretary left without looking back. Before leaving, she also took the pure gold pen holder from the desk. Bad person, come back. Put down my gold coin. Zhao Gang roared and tried to chase after her, but was stopped by 2 burly men at the door. They were the bodyguards he had hired at great expense. Chairman Zhao, save your strength. One of the bodyguards was chewing gum. His eyes were playful. We haven't left yet, Buddy and me, because someone paid us more to keep an eye on you, so you won't kill yourself. Who? The bodyguard didn't speak. He just stepped aside, respectfully clearing a path. From the end of the hallway came a calm, unhurried footstep, leather shoes on the marble floor, making a crisp clicking sound. Each step seemed to land on the hearts of the Zhao father and son. A young man in a dark blue custom suit, arm in arm with a cold, stunning woman of extraordinary grace, strolled in as if taking a leisurely walk. Behind him followed a large group of sharply dressed elites, each carrying a briefcase, looking like a professional M&A team. Good morning, Chairman Zhao, Bayu said as he walked into the office. He looked around, at the excessively luxurious space. His gaze finally landed on Zhao Gang's pale face. So this is the office of Jiangxing's richest man? Your taste is a bit tacky. This gold-toed ornament is just gold-plated, right? Bayu weighed it with disdain, then threw it into the trash can with a smack. Zhao Gang stared at the man before him, the venom in his eyes almost overflowing. It's you. You're the one who put out the bounty. You monster. What the hell do you want? Killing is just a matter of beheading. What you're doing is against the law. Bayu pulled over a chair, letting Yi Shiyu sit down. He himself leaned lazily against the edge of the desk, looking down at Zhao Gang. When you sent assassins to kill me last night, why didn't you think about the law then? Why are only officials allowed to set fires, while commoners can't even light a lamp? Bayu snapped his fingers. A lawyer behind him stepped forward, opened the briefcase, took out a thick stack of documents, spread them out in front of Zhao Gang. Chairman Zhao, allow me to introduce myself. I am the chief legal representative of Mr. Bai Yi. This is the comprehensive asset transfer agreement of the Zhao Group. The lawyer adjusted his glasses. His tone was flat, as if reading a death sentence. According to our calculations, the Zhao Group currently has liabilities of 23 billion. Asset valuation, due to force majeure, currently valued at -5 billion. Originally, this was a bankrupt company, but my boss, Mr. Bayu, is kind-hearted, willing to fund the acquisition. Zhao Gang felt as if he had grabbed a lifeline. How much are you willing to pay? As long as you're willing to cancel the bounty, I'll give you this company, all of it. Bayu smiled. He held up one finger. 100. Ha! Zhao Gang's eyes lit up. Bayu shook his head. Shiyu. Zhao Gang gritted his teeth. Bayu still shook his head. 111? 1. Zhao Gang's heart sank to the bottom. Bayu wiped off his smile. He fished a coin out of his pocket. It was a rusty 1-cent coin that had long ceased to circulate. It clattered and spun on the table, making a harsh scraping sound. Finally fell in front of Zhao Gang. 1 cent, Bayu said calmly. To buy all the foundations your Zhao family has accumulated over 3 generations, including this building, all the real estate under your name, cars and stocks, even the suit you are wearing. Too far. Zhao Gang was so angry that he spat out a mouthful of blood. Even if I burn all these things, give them to beggars. I won't give them to you. Bayu's eyes turned cold. You can try. But I remind you, those 3,000 bounty hunters downstairs are waiting very impatiently. If I cancel the capture alive bounty, guess how they will rush in? Zhao Gang instantly froze. This is an impossible choice. Dad, 1,000 kings. I want to live. I don't want to die. Zhao Yushin collapsed, crawled over, and hugged Zhao Gang's thigh, crying so hard that his nose and tears all flowed. Looking at his son's pathetic appearance, the light in Zhao Gang's eyes completely went out. Bayu, you are so ruthless. Zhao Gang picked up the pen with trembling hands. At the moment of signing, he felt his soul being drained. The family enterprise he had worked his whole life for was sold for the price of 1 cent to this food delivery guy he once considered an ant. That's more like it. Bayu picked up the signed contract, didn't even glance at it, directly handed it to Yi Shiyu behind him. Shiyu, a gift for you. Do you like it? Yi Shiyu held this heavy document. This is the behemoth that once nearly drove the Yi family to death. Now it has so effortlessly become something in his pocket. Bayu, this is too precious. Ishiyu felt a bit unreal. Hey, we're family, what are you saying? Two families? Besides, I can't be bothered to manage these crappy companies. From now on, you are the Yi Group. Oh no. Now it's called the chairman of Bai's Divine Tycoon First Branch Company. Bayu stood up and patted Zhao Gang on the shoulder, as if comforting a homeless dog. Alright, don't look so mournful. To celebrate, I'll take a moment, and decide to take you father and son to experience some life. Experience what? Zhao Gang had a bad feeling. Shopping, Bayu snapped his fingers. System. Activate the Tycoon's humiliating spending mode. Detected that the host is in a high satisfaction plot. Mission issued. Take money as a down payment and go shopping. The mission requires buying in front of the Zhao father and son everything they once wanted but couldn't bear to buy, and force them to be porters. 1 hour later, the largest luxury car dealership in Jiangqing. Here displayed the world's top luxury cars. This place used to be where Zhao Yutian liked to show off the most. But every time he came, he only dared to look at the entry-level models that cost a few million. As for the Bugatti Black Knight Sound worth 10 to 20 million at the center of the exhibition hall. Black Knight Sound. He didn't even dare to touch it. But today he came. Though as a mover, Zhao Yutian wore a torn shirt, sweating profusely following behind Bayu. And Zhao Gang, like an old servant, timidly bowed his head. Bayu pointed at the Bugatti, looking at Zhao Yutian with a half-smile. Does this car look familiar, young Master Zhao? I heard you begged your dad for half a year for this car last time. And your dad still didn't buy it for you. Why yes. Do you like it? I'll like it. If you like it, take a few more looks. Bayu walked to the car and patted the hood. Because from now on, you can only drive it in your dreams. Full payment by card. After speaking, Bayu turned to the sales manager. No test drive needed. Just give me the keys directly. Manager. His hands were shaking with excitement. Sure, Mr. Bai. Bayu took the car keys. Then, in Zhao Yutian's despairing gaze, casually tossed the keys to the bodyguard Huo Huzi behind him. This car is yours. From now on, use it for grocery shopping. Stop driving that broken golden cup. It's embarrassing. Boom. The whole place was stunned. A 120 million Bugatti as a grocery car for the bodyguard. Brother who held it, tears streaming down his face. He immediately knelt to Bayu on the spot. Boss, you are my second parent. From now on, my life is yours. Zhao Yutian, at that moment, felt worse than if he had eaten shit. The dream car he longed for was casually given to a thug by Bayu. Don't rush. It's not over yet. Bayu continued walking forward. I'll take that Rolls-Royce Phantom. Give it to President Yi as a commuter car. I'll buy that Ferrari LaFerrari too. The color is too flashy. Spray it black when I get back. Also those few Aston Martins. Package them for my company's cleaning ladies. Each one gets a car. To make their commute easier. In just half an hour, Bayu swept through the entire dealership. Total spending 800 million. Zhao Gang and Zhao Yutian followed behind. Their arms full of various luxury car giveaways. Car covers, perfumes like two dead dogs. Every time they saw Bayu swipe his card, their hearts twitched once. Bayu, please stop buying. We were wrong. Just give us a quick end.